You're listening to the British Baseball Podcast. Welcome, baseball family, to Around the Bases, the British baseball audio fanzine that showcases you, your team's results, and your league. If you'd like to feature or get involved, you can submit a short video or voice message via DM or email. Email's probably best, britishbaseballpodcast@gmail.com, saying who you are, who you play for, and then give us a little overview of your weekend series. I want to hear all about the good bits, the bad bits, and all the incredible bits in between too. Maybe someone on your team had a dazzling display as a rookie, a no-hitter, a walk-off grand slam, or maybe you just want to give your team and your teammates some love. So here's your chance. These are the results from Sunday, the 11th of July. So as usual, each team's playing a double header that should last 7 innings, or is cut short due to time limits or the mercy rule, with the West Midlands Baseball League playing one-game series over the full 9 innings. If you don't hear your team, there wasn't a game. But if you think that I've missed one or might have overlooked something, why not let me know the score directly? Do the little video so that I've got it there in audio file, and then we can get them uploaded. There's a few issues with the BBL scores, so apologies again. There's no results this weekend, but we are working on that to get that corrected. We might do a little overview of the full league as and when we can. So let's all get this covered. Thanks again to Niall in Tonbridge for another video submission. These are perfect, brilliant, lovely stuff. Join up in baseball in Scotland and the Herts Baseball Club. The BBF stats and scores and standings are brought to you on stats.britishbaseball.org and the game day results website that is updated by you. Big thanks as always to Matt Moran at Matt L. Moran of the Ducks Across the Pond podcast for getting me the stats again this weekend. It's been a real big help. And before we get into the scores, let's have a look at some news. So no WBUK action this week, but there are tryouts for the women's national team on the 7th of August at 10:30 at Herts Baseball Club. Go to @GB_baseball to find out more. I'll leave a link in the show notes. And there was also a great post in the British Baseball Clubhouse on the Facebook with an article from Matt Thomas of the Angels Over the Pond group, as he found a small but damaged little trophy with the engraving of N of E Baseball League 1937 runners-up. Now, for those that don't know, this is an absolute fine and a half. From the 1930s, the North of England Professional Baseball League. Again, I'll leave a full link in the show notes. You can read the full article by Matt. It's very detailed, very, very interesting. Absolute must read if you have an interest in British baseball history or baseball history. And also of note, last week's BSUK Player of the Week was Ren Quantrill of the London Legends. He had 4 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and a long assist from centre field to home plate. You can nominate your British Baseball Player of the Week by heading to baseballsoftballuk.com/player of the week and see the wall of awesome there. And then you can get the nomination form at the bottom to get your teammates recognized so they could appear alongside players like week 1. We had Jessica Vernon, Hearts Baseball. Week 2, Curtis Ackridge of Hattown Blues. Week 3, we had Chris Kramer of the Taunton Muskets. Week 4, Nicole Rayner of the Cambridge Valkyries. Week 5, Joshua Barrett of the Milton Keynes Box. That was from the Battle for Britain weekend. Week 6 was Mitchell from the London Mets. Week 7 was Monica Koiker of the Bells Baseball Club. Week 8, you have Mike Osborne of Bristol Badgers. Week 9, Luke Reinhardt of Norwich Iceni. And as I said before, week 10 was Ren Quantrill. So who's going to be it for week 11 and week 12 and all the further weeks? Well, you have to nominate them to get them recognised. So Scottish baseball results, we have the Glasgow Comets going to the Tayport Breakers, and that was 15 runs to 9 in favour of the Glasgow Comets. And then we had the Glasgow Galaxy hosting the Edinburgh Cannons, and that was a 7-inning shutout for the Cannons pitcher as they won that one 8 runs to 0. And if you want to find out more about the Scottish baseball, don't forget to check out Ballcaps and Bagpipes, wherever you get your podcasts from. We have the Essex Arrows hosting the London Legends at Town Meal Playing Fields in Waltham Abbey. Game 1 was 13 runs to 9 to Essex. A huge performance by Danny Bueno with 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and 12 hits in total playing for both teams. Game 2 saw a very close game, which went in favor of the Arrows again. It was 11 runs to 10. Jack McCarthy had a big day at the plate with 4 hits, 3 RBIs on a double and a triple. Travelling now to Hemel Hempstead and Grove Hill Ballpark, where the Hearts Falcons took on the London Capitals. Game 1 was a 24-0 Capitals shutout. 17 runs scored in the third inning, which saw the Capitals put the game out of reach. Leo Cadeno had 5 RBIs and a home run. Bobby Anderson gave up only 2 hits in the shutout. Game 2, the Falcons managed to get 2 hits on the board, and that was 16 runs to 2 in favor of the Capitals. Julio Cesar Figueroa Almonte had 2 home runs and a double with 6 RBIs for the Capitals. The London Mets took on the Lancashire Legends at Roundshaw Playing Fields in Croydon. Game 1 was 13 runs to 0. Sam Sproul went 3-3 in Game 1. The Mets pitcher struck out 11 in 5 innings. And Game 2 also went to the London Mets with a 12 runs to 2 victory. That man Sam again going 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, while Jonathan Rodriguez had 2 doubles on 2 hits. And don't forget, you can check out my chat with London Mets head coach over this week's British Baseball Podcast. So be sure to listen to me and Rich having a really good conversation. BBF NBL, BBF AAA. London Marauders were at home at Enfield Playing Fields in Croydon, and they took on the Essex Redbacks AAA team. That was 2 runs to 0 to the Marauders, and it was David Bender and Mark Skopek who scored the only runs in the game. Tosh Lawson allowed no runs for the Marauders. Game 2 also went the way of the Marauders as they won that one 10 runs to 1. The Marauders had a big bottom of the first, helped them take the win with 5 runs in that first inning alone. Travelling to Bournemouth now, Ferndown Leisure Centre for the Bournemouth Bears AAA side, taking the Southwest Rebeldes. And it was the Rebeldes who won that one 6 runs to 4. Ramon Martinez had 7 strikeouts in 7 innings, and Shannon Hall went 7 innings as well with 10 strikeouts. Hall also went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Game 2 was a shutout for the Bears as they won that one 10-0. Jose Lopez didn't allow a run in 7 innings pitched for the Bears and had 3 RBIs at the plate with 2 hits, including a double. Off go now to Salford, not to be confused with Salford. Salford, as the Vetra took on the Bristol Badgers at the Salford Sports Club. The Vetra winning both games, game 1 going 14 runs to 9. Davidas Trincunas had 4 RBIs on 3 hits with a home run in the bottom of the first for Vetra. And game 2 was 13 runs to 3, with Vetra scoring 11 in the bottom of the third. The game was cut short at 5 innings due to the mercy rule. A lot of big action so far. I don't think I've seen quite a high-scoring weekend like this in some time. Lots of dingers being hit too. Let's have a look now at the BBF AAA. We had the Milton Keynes Bucks at home at Wharton on Green Playing Field, and they faced the Norwich Iceni. Both games going in favour of the Bucks. The first game was 8 runs to 3, with Brendan Visagi had 3 RBIs and a triple for the Bucks to help them go ahead of the Iceni in the third. Darian Ward only allowed 3 runs across 7 innings outing for the MK Bucks. Game 2 was 19 runs to 3. A 7-run first inning helped the Bucks take game 2 with a home run from Josh Ralph Barrett in the bottom of the first. And now we go to Oxford Kings Ballpark in Oxford as the Oxford Kings face the Essex Archers. Game 1 was 9 runs to 6. Tommy Keeling had 3 RBIs on 2 hits for Essex, but it wasn't enough to help the team get ahead, with Alejandro Dodero for the Kings keeping the Archers at bay on the mound. Only one game to report for that. There's some sort of issue with the website. I couldn't get the final score for game 2. Let's head back down to Croydon at Roundshaw Playing Fields as the Croydon Pirates took on the London Musketeers. Game 1 was 6 runs to 5, a close encounter where London tied the game in the 5th, but Croydon walked off in the bottom of the 7th with a single to centre field for Joel Hernandez to take that one for the Pirates. The Musketeers would win game 2, 4 runs to 3. Both teams had a solid pitching performance with Gerard Aguilar striking out 14 in the loss for Croydon, but London took the lead at the top of the 7th to take game 2. Sidewinders versus the Guildford Mavericks at Enfield Playing Fields in London. Sidewinders taking both games here. The first one was 7 runs to 2. A 4-run bottom of the 4th helped the Sidewinders tie the game to take the lead with 5 singles in the 4th inning. And game 2 was 6 runs to 5 in favour of the Sidewinders. 2 RBIs for Tang Cheng for 2, and on a 2 home run helped the Sidewinders win game 2. BBF Single A. Herts Londoners and the Herts Eagle at Basing Hill Ballpark. And to tell us a bit more about this Herts action is the Herts Baseball Club themselves.
We've been lucky enough to have a lot of Herts derbies this year because we've got 3 teams in Single A. This weekend was the latest of them. The Londoners hosting the Eagles. We split on opening day. We split again this time round, 1 game each. But the remarkable point this weekend was all the home runs. So in the bottom of the first inning, Londoners load up the bases and Luke steps up to bat. Ball over the fence. Grand slam, home run. Luke's new to the game this year, last year, been smashing it all year though. Fantastic job. But not long after that, maybe second inning, Greg, one of our veterans, over the fence. Home run number 2. Big lead for the Londoners in game 1. Eagles made a big rally though, and part of that, Mike, another club veteran, used to be our youth commissioner, made a comeback to the game and is doing a fine job, driving it over the fence. There it goes again. Rally wasn't quite enough this time though. Londoners hang on, win 12-9 first game. Second game, Londoners jump out in front. Tom of the Eagles steps up. Ball gone. Centre field fence. Fielder's over there with it. All gone. They take the lead. And how do they take the lead? Mike, he's back again. Yep, here we go. Gone. Eagles win this one. 10-5 second game. Good fun all round. Very exciting hitting. 2 double plays in there as well. So quality on the fielding side. And the next Herts derby is not far away. It's this week. It's this Thursday. Raptors, Londoners. Be there on a weekday evening. Going to be good stuff. Thanks very much.
Lovely stuff. Thank you for that information. Again, feel free to submit more as you wish. And teams, if you want to submit some information like that, that's what we're looking for. So as I said, it was game 1. It was 12 runs to 9 for the Londoners over the Eagles. And then the Herts Eagles taking game 2, 10 runs to 5. Over to Finsbury Park, the London Mustangs hosting the London Minotaurs. And it was the Mustangs taking game 1, 18 runs to 1. Mustangs Mercy Rule as the Minotaurs to take game 1 with 4 RBIs and a home run from the Mustangs pitcher, Jimmy Lamb. But game 2 will see the Minotaurs win 10 runs to 8. Big scoring innings in the second and third for the Minotaurs with multiple RBIs from Liam Stokes, Yuko Matikino, and Andrew Mayle. Let's go now to Bristol, Somerdale Pavilion in Keesham. And it's the Brunos taking on the Cornish Claycutters. The Cornish Claycutters would win game 1, 15 runs to 2, with pitcher Dan Kitts striking out 8, and he also helped himself to 3 hits with 2 RBIs. Game 2 would go to the Brunos as they won that one 7 runs to 4. The Brunos scoring multiple runs in the first 2 innings with 12 stolen bases in 3 innings. Bristol Bats going to Bristol Bucks, not too far because they're both in the same ground. Again, this one being at Somerdale Pavilion. And the first game would go 25 runs to 0 in favour of the Bats. Bristol Bats scoring 5 runs in every inning for 5 innings, with Alex Brown going 4 for 4 with 4 runs. Game 2 would also go the way of the Bats as they won that one 15 runs to 5. The Bats' first baseman, Ben Briggs, had 2 RBIs and scored 3 runs to help take the team with that sweep over the Bucks. The Cardiff Merlins would face the Western Jets at Pontcarna Fields in Cardiff. The Merlins would take game 1, 10 runs to 0, with Taka Kano of the Merlins pitching a complete game, 1 with hitter and struck out 9, whilst getting 3 hits and 3 RBIs himself. And game 2 would also go the favour of the Merlins with a 16 runs to 1. And this now sees the Merlins going 8-0 on the season, and I think they're the only unbeaten team in the leagues. Going to Victoria Park in Taunton as the Muskets faced the Bournemouth Bears single A. Taunton Muskets going down 11 runs to 5 as the Bears had 14 hits and 15 stolen bases as a team to help beat the Muskets in game 1. Game 2 would also go to favour of the Bournemouth Bears as they won 26 runs to 10. Both Marcus Lopez and Pete Datlin went 4 for 4, with Pete Datlin getting 5 RBIs. Let's head down to Brighton and Waterhall playing fields for the Brighton Jets versus the Brighton Brewers. The first game was 10 runs to 7 to the Brewers as they had 17 hits as a team. Callum Oldmeadow went 3 for 3 and Josh Rappaport had a double and a home run, giving him 2 RBIs. Game 2 would also go the way of the Brewers, with Josh Rappaport getting another home run in Game 2 and 4 RBIs while pitching in relief, striking out 6. An all Guildford affair at Christ College in Guildford saw the Gold Cats taking on the Millers, and it would be the Guildford Gold Cats taking game 1, 16 runs to 7. Gold Cats pitcher Mike Buckton and Hamish Carl struck out 9 hitters, and the Gold Cats hitters had 10 hits and 9 RBIs as a team. Game 2 was a close fair, and it was the Gold Cats that snuck this one 6 runs to 5 as Jack Burdant went 4 for 4, scoring 2 runs for the Gold Cats, and the Gold Cats also stole 13 bases. The Kent Buccaneers single A took on the Kent Mariners at Williams Field in Hadlow, and it was the Buccaneers that would sweep the Mariners, with game 1 going 9 runs to 2, and then a close game 2 with 10 runs to 9 there for the Buccaneers. And as we head over to Bally Field in Tonbridge, we're going to have Niall Cafferty for the team's roundup there.
Hey Matt, Niall from the Tonbridge Bobcats again. This weekend saw what is now known as the Cat Fight, Part 3, the third instalment of the Tonbridge Wildcats v Tonbridge Bobcats League action. Game 1 was probably the most tense and exciting game that the Bobcats have been a part of this year. We had a rough start to the game. After 3 innings, we were down 7-0 and struggling to put a dent in the scoreline against a strong Wildcats defence and pitching effort. However, our guys never gave up. A combination of Grant Theus on the mound and the defence behind him, they managed to retire the next 8 batters in order, giving up 1 run in the process, while scoring 8 runs of their own to send the game to extra innings. Into the 7th, and the Wildcats plated 2 runs, meaning that we had to score 3 to win. Patience at the plate meant we got the winning run to third base. Up steps Rob Crangle, who hits a deep fly ball to left field. Bob Bright tags up at third. Fortunately for us, the ball couldn't be caught, and we walked off with an 11-10 victory. Game 2 didn't quite go our way, and the Wildcats ran out deserved winners 18-5. Steve Bevan on the mound was pitching well. It was just unfortunate the Wildcats kept finding the gaps. However, he did not issue 1 walk, which is a big positive from which to build on. To finish the game, I made my debut on the mound to pitch in relief, and even though I couldn't stop the Wildcats' power and gave up a few walks, it was a great experience. And lastly, but definitely by no means least, Mrs. Borley was in attendance, as she often is. Sunday, she was presented with a selection of brand new Tonbridge baseball merchandise by the club. It really does mean a lot to us all to see her supporting the club week in, week out. That's all for this week, Matt. Thanks again.
Thanks, Niall. Perfect as usual. And just to recap that, it's the Bobcats winning game 1, 11 runs to 10 in a close game, and then Wildcats taking game 2, 18 runs to 5. With no British Baseball League action to report on and no East of England Baseball League, we're going to go straight to the West Midlands Baseball League. We had the Worcester Sorcerers taking their team to Long Eaton Storm, and it'd be the visiting side that won 15 runs to 9. Wolverhampton Wolves and the Leicester Blue Sox that saw the Wolves winning 5 runs to 2, taking out unbeaten stretch to 4 games, and the Stourbridge Titans travelling to Telford to face the Telford Giants, and that was 22 runs to 7 in favour of the home side Telford Giants. There's also a developmental game that was played between the Metalheads of Birmingham and the Clifton Pirates, with the Clifton Pirates winning 11 runs to 4. And one game to tell you about from the West Country Baseball League, and that was the Newton Brewers and the Exeter Spitfires, and it was 10 runs to 8 to the Brewers. This game was suspended at the bottom of the 6th, which we think was due to bad weather. Bulls back to the British Baseball Federation NBL. We have the London Mets in first place, 20 wins, 2 losses. London Capitals occupying the second spot, 17 wins, 2 losses. Essex Owls in third with 11 and 10. Lancashire Legends 5 and 15. And the London Legends with 3 and 13. And Herts Falcons with 0 wins and 14 losses. BBF AAA sees the AAA South Division look like this. The East London Latin Boys with 9 and 4. Essex Arrows AAA with 9 and 5. Essex Redbacks AAA, 8 wins and 6 losses. London Marauders with 8 wins and 6 losses as well. Fifth place is the London Mammoths with 7 and 7. And Kent Buccaneers AAA with 2 and 7. And Richmond Knights at the bottom, also 2 and 7. AAA South Western Wales sees the Bournemouth Bears still sitting at the top of the table with 6 wins and 2 losses. Veteran not too far there, though, with 8 wins and 4 losses, with South West Rebellions with a 4 and 6 record, and Bristol Badgers with their 2 wins and 8 losses. AA, we have the AA Central. Milton Keynes Bucks still at the top of the league with only 1 loss this season and 13 wins to their name. Cambridge Monarchs with 10 wins and 4 losses in second place. Oxford Kings in third place with 8 runs and 5. The fourth spot belongs to the Essex Archers AA with 7 wins and 8 losses. Not far behind them is Norwich Iceni with 7 wins and 9 losses, and Hearts Hawks at the bottom with 0 wins and 18 losses. AA South East looks like this. Tyne is still top of the table with 16 wins and 2 losses, but not far behind them, Croydon Pirates with 16 wins and 3 losses, only half a game behind. London Musketeers with 11 wins, 8 losses. In third place, Guildford Mavericks with in fourth place with 10 wins and 8 losses. Richmond Dragons with 3 wins and 17 losses. And the East London Latin Boys AA side there with only 1 win and 19 losses. As we head over to the Single A Central, we have the Essex Redback Single A team there with 15 wins and 1 loss. Good England there. London Mustangs in second place with 13 wins, 2 losses. Is the Hearts Eagles in third spot with 6 wins and 9 losses, with the Hearts Londoners with a 4-9 record, followed by Hearts Raptors with 2 and 5. And in sixth spot there is London Minotaurs with 1 win and 15 losses. Single A7 looks like this. Cardiff Merlins at the top with 8 and 0. Bournemouth Bears with 6 and 2, tied for second place with the Bristol Bats with also 6 and 2 record, but they have 1 tied game there, so technically I think that makes them third. And Bristol Brunos at the bottom there in fourth spot with 5 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie game. Single A South sees the Brighton Brewers in top spot with 14 wins, 2 losses. Guildford Gold Cats with 12 wins, 6 losses. Third place is Brighton Jets with 9 wins and 2 losses. Bracknell Inferno are 7 and 7. Richmond Dukes with 2 wins, 9 losses. And the Guildford Millers with 1 win and 14 losses and 1 tie game. Also, Richmond Dukes, have a tie game too. Single A Southeast, Tonbridge Wildcats at the top of the tree with 9 wins, 5 losses. Kent Mariners with 6 and 4. Kent Buccaneers Single A are 4 and 4. Tonbridge Bobcats are 5 wins, 7 losses. And South Coast Sea Dogs with 0 wins, 4 losses. And South Coast Pirates join 5th place with 0 and 2. Single A Wessex sees the Taunton Muskets at top spot with an even 4 and 4 win and loss ratio. Cornish Clay Cutters, 3 wins, 5 losses. Western Jets are 2 and 6. And the Bristol Bucks are 0 and 10. And that's it. That's all for me for this week. Again, thanks to Matt for getting me the scores. If you haven't heard your team's stuff read out again, just get in touch with me. Let's get as much information out there as possible. I do like to have a full set of figures to be able to report on, but again, it's always out of my control with tight deadlines to reach to get this out. Just let me know. Hit me up on social media. It's DMs at britishbaseballpod or emails britishbaseballpodcast@gmail.com. So have a great week, train hard and play even better. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care now. Ta-ra.